Authorities in neighboring France have just announced that they have foiled a terror plot in the advanced stages there, unrelated to the Brussels bombings. While in Brussels, red flags have emerged that possibly point to Americans being targeted as part of this week's attacks. At least 31 people were killed and 316 hurt, dozens suffering critical injuries that doctors describe as looking more like wounds of war. And tonight, as we're getting our first look inside the apartment where the suitcase bombs were constructed, comes word two brothers involved in the attacks may have been in search of radioactive materials for a dirty bomb attack. NBC's chief foreign correspondent Richard Engel has late details now from Brussels.
Were Americans the target of the Brussels bombers? The State Department today said no.
We don't at this point have any credible evidence that suggests it was targeting Americans.
But tonight, NBC News spoke with counterterrorism expert Claude Moniquet, a former French intelligence officer briefed on the investigation. He says the taxi driver who drove these three suspects, including the two bombers on the left, told investigators the man in the hat, still wanted by authorities, launched into an anti-American tirade in the car on his way to the airport.
It was a general conversation. He didn't say, I will kill Americans, of course.
But it's a key moment.
Yes, of course.
It's the last thing that's on his mind before carrying out the attacks.
The last thing which was heard by someone external to the terrorist network was very aggressive words against America and American citizens.
Moniquet also says two of the suicide bombers who caused the Brussels carnage, the Bakraoui brothers, may have been trying to get their hands on an even more terrifying weapon.
To make a dirty bomb?
To make a dirty bomb, certainly.
The brothers secretly filmed a top scientist from a facility producing medical radioactive isotopes. Moniquet says the brothers may have planned to kidnap one of the scientist's relatives to try to force him to hand over the radioactive materials.
The point is that, of course, it was a stupid plan because you cannot enter, even if you take the children of this man.
And tonight, new pictures to NBC News inside the safe house where the ISIS bombers prepared their suitcase bombs and other explosives used in the Brussels attacks. A hole in the door, likely left by police. New twists for the people of Brussels to wonder about.
Soldiers are still patrolling here to guard against another possible ISIS attack. But this country seems overwhelmed by the scale of the threat. Only 225 extra troops have reportedly been brought into Brussels. It's a show of force, but a small one.
Belgian officials now accept they don't have the manpower to deal with the hundreds of jihadi fighters who came back from the Middle East.
And tonight, Lester, France's interior minister said in a raid this morning outside Paris, a French national was arrested in the late stages of an attack against France. Apparently, the official said at this point, there does not appear to be a connection between that arrest, that suspect, and the atrocities that happened here in Brussels, a city still in mourning.